10, the Hawaiian Volcano's Observatory is downgrading the aviation hazard code from red to orange. Since late May, explosions and collapses at Kilauea Summit have rarely produced ash plumes more than 10,000 feet. The decrease in danger to aircraft prompted the threat level change. Another collapse explosion rocked the summit shortly after 4 this afternoon. The event released energy equivalent to a magnitude 5.3 earthquake, but did not generate a tsunami threat. New video from the DLNR shows just how far the flow extends. At last check, lava had covered 6,114 acres. One vital area lost to the flow is the Waupai Tide Pools, a state-protected marine conservation district. Only 1% of Hawaii's marine environments have that designation. About 50% of the Malamaki Forest Reserve is closed. The State Land Department says volcanic emissions have defoliated hundreds of trees. By law, the new land created by the lava automatically becomes state-run property, falling under the jurisdiction of the DLNR. Despite numerous warnings from the state, lava loiterers continue to be caught in restricted areas. 32-year-old Alexander White and 41-year-old Ruth Moss of Hilo were cited yesterday. They were with 2 children and had been seen walking along the shoreline at Coconut Grove. Mackenzie State Park was closed shortly after the eruption began in May. Lava loiterers can be fined up to $5,000. The 20 micro-homes built behind Sacred Heart Church in Pahoa for eruption evacuees now have electricity. Just 1 month after ground was broken on the project, it's nearly complete. The official blessing is scheduled for Saturday. The village was constructed completely by volunteers and paid for through donations from the community and local businesses. Gubernatorial candidate Colleen Hanabusa is worried that Puna evacuees won't have a chance to vote in the upcoming primary election due to the eruption. The Star Advertiser reports that Pahoa Community Center and Pahoa High and Intermediate School will be closed to voting on August 11th, and no alternative has been set up. Today, Hanabusa called on the Office of Elections to create an emergency site for early walk-in voting and for voters on the day of the primary. This week, election officials are mailing absentee ballots out early to all registered voters in the affected districts, but Hanabusa is concerned they won't be received by residents whose lives have been disrupted or their homes destroyed.
Hawaiian Volcano Observatory reports that Fissure 8 continues to erupt with a full channel flowing to the ocean at Kapoho. There is no immediate threat, but persons near the active flow should heed warnings from civil defense. Due to frequent earthquake activity, residents in the volcano area are advised to monitor utility connections of gas, electricity, and water after earthquakes. You may monitor fog and air quality conditions online using the Hawaii Interagency Fog Information Dashboard linked on the Civil Defense website. The FEMA Disaster Recovery Center is open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and is located at the Kilauea High School gym. Tropicare 2018 will not be open today, but will resume providing free medical, dental, and eye care. We are on watch 24 hours a day for your safety. This is your Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency.
Hawaii volcano eruption update. Kilauea crater sees collapse explosion spew steam 4,500 feet. Hawaii volcano Kilauea spewed a plume of steam 4,500 feet high after a period of high seismicity triggered a collapse explosion at the Halemaumau crater. The United States Geological Survey USGS warned on Sunday morning the Hawaii volcano summit collapsed after being hit by 40 earthquakes an hour. The resulting summit explosion was likened to a magnitude 5.3 earthquake at the volcano's crater. The USGS said, at 6:52 p.m. HST on June 22nd, after approximately 25 hours of elevated seismicity, a collapse explosion occurred at the summit, producing an ash-forest steam plume that rose 500 feet above the ground surface, 4,500 feet above sea level, before drifting to the southwest. Seismicity dropped abruptly from a high of 40 earthquakes per hour leading up to the collapse explosion to 10 or less earthquakes per hour afterwards. Overnight, seismicity gradually increased, reaching about 30 earthquakes per hour by daybreak. The resulting plume of steam and ash rose up to 4,500 feet above sea level. Further slumping of the Hawaii volcano's Halemaumau crater was noted, and the U.S. agency warned subsidence of the summit continues. When asked if there are any signs the volcano eruption is slowing down, the agency said there is no indication of this just yet. The USGS said there are no signs of slowing down right now. Geologists are still getting speeds of around 15 miles per hour as lava exits the vent, which flows down to around 2-5 mph as it moves around Kapoho crater and towards the ocean entry. The Hawaii volcano eruption began on May 3rd this year when lava from beneath the Kilauea summit breached into the lower east rift zone. Lava fissures oozing molten rock across the island have destroyed around 600 homes. A number of popular local sites have extended the coast by a mile in the former Kapoho Bay. As of Saturday evening, fountaining from a fissure in the Lalani Estates area is feeding a strong lava flow directed towards Kapoho. The lava is now seeping into the Pacific Ocean along a 0.6-mile wide area marked by billowing plumes of steam and volcanic gas. The total lava flow areas have covered 9.6 square miles of ground along the southeastern part of Big Island.
Kilauea's Kilauea Volcano is still posing a threat to residents nearly a month and a half since its first eruption. Molten lava can still be seen spewing out of one of the most active fissures on Big Island, known as Fissure 8, and flowing dangerously close to nearby homes. The US Geological Survey also warns that Kilauea's eruptions are showing no signs of slowing down, with experts saying they could continue for months. Lava and ash from the volcano has now covered about 25 square kilometers and has destroyed nearly 600 homes. Hawaii's Kilauea Volcano is still posing a threat to residents nearly a month and a half since its first eruption. Molten lava can still be seen spewing out of one of the most active fissures on Big Island, known as Fissure 8, and it is flowing dangerously close to nearby homes. The US Geological Survey also warns that Kilauea's eruptions are showing no signs of slowing down, with experts saying they could continue for months. Lava and ash from the volcano has now covered about 25 square kilometers and has destroyed nearly 600 homes.
When 2018 began, Hawaii Island's visitor industry was projecting big numbers.
The estimates for arrivals for our island is still to grow at double-digit increased pace.
Ross Birch, the executive director of the Island of Hawaii Visitors Bureau, made this optimistic presentation to the county council earlier in the year.
Expenditures will be on a very similar pace. Actually, that's a very conservative number from the expenditures. As we start getting more and more visitors, the price of the hotel rooms and the price of everything is going to start to go up. So more visitors, we're going to get higher rates. So that 2.71 billion is a conservative number.
But then in May, everything changed. What began as a fissure eruption in Leilani Estates along the lower east rift zone of Kilauea Volcano grew to become one of the state's biggest natural disasters, consuming hundreds of homes and displacing residents. The eruption captivated media worldwide. The forecast for tourism turned around.
First of all, I want to thank all of our speakers for the great information that they're providing our residents and visitors to keep them safe while they're here on the island.
Here is Ross Birch again addressing the national press after the new volcanic activity began.
Some of the things you may need to know from a tourism standpoint is that there is absolutely no reason for, at this time, for visitors planning a trip to the island to change their business or leisure plans to come to the island. Air access into the island at both Hilo and Kona airports are operating as normal. All flights are still on schedule. None of the Hawaiian islands are affected by the Kilauea Volcano except for the remote area on the island of Hawaii east side, Kilauea Summit, and surrounding areas. From a tourism standpoint and the immediate effects is on the 7-day arrivals, we get a gauge on seeing who's coming within a 7-day period, and those numbers have actually been steady. We're equal to or still slightly above what we were for 2017. We are seeing a little slip in the Japanese market from an immediate standpoint. And the biggest impact to us from the park closure and also the cruise lines choosing not to port in Hilo and in Kona. That equals to about $175,000 per port, or about $1.2 million as of next week through the full cancellations. Other immediate impacts are from the group standpoint. Groups that have canceled for the month of May or through the summer are equating to anywhere between tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to each property.
The island was now facing an economic crisis on several fronts.
There's a lot of things that are happening.
Hawaii County Managing Director Will Okabe gave this memorable press conference outside Civil Defense headquarters in Hilo.
But in this particular situation, we do not want to create any panic to any of our constituents or the people of this island. Because we don't want to give wrong messages not only to our island, but to the rest of the country. Because what we're having right now is economical impact as people are trying to cancel their reservations in Kona and other parts of the island. So let me give you a perspective. This is just basically less than 5% of the population or the area in Leilani Estates compared to the rest of the island. It's like having a situation where they talk about Disneyland and they say that, we're going to have something, a catastrophe in Disneyland. So everybody in Colorado, they're going to start canceling all the reservations in Colorado. Okay? It's too far off. I mean, it's not even, people have to understand, we have to send that message. All of you here in the media today needs to send that message that Hawaii County, Hawaii Island is safe. The rest of the state is safe. This is Hawaii Island. This is not Hawaii. See, when they say Hawaii, they think it's the whole state, you know what I'm saying? But to some people, they think that's the whole island too, because we have the same name. So make that very clear as media.
Executives on the Kohala coast wanted to get the word out that it was still safe to visit.
We really respect and understand the challenges that some of the people near the volcano are going for. That is about 100 miles away from here. As you can see behind me, we have beautiful blue skies, and people are enjoying the life here at Maunalani and all the other resorts here on the Kohala coast. So we're trying to get that message out that although the volcano certainly has some adverse impacts on local communities down in that location, we are in a totally different location on the Big Island, and actually tourism it's a terrific day here.
But meanwhile, the area of Volcano Village took a big economic hit after a series of earthquakes and explosions at the summit of Kilauea forced Hawaii Volcanoes National Park to close.
The businesses that are directly related to those areas and that have business specific to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park are critically affected, and most of them have laid off employees or closed their doors.
With the area's main tourist attraction off limits, local businesses felt the effects immediately.
That's the best I can tell you right now. I'm not sure. Business has definitely gone down over the past month. Ever since the eruption down in Leilani Estates, we have definitely seen a constant trend of cancellations coming through. Prior to this whole event happening, our rooms were running probably a good 96% occupancy for the month of February. We will be lucky if we finish up this month with 40% occupancy. And if something happens like that day or the day before, just give us a call. My boss is honoring cancellations. She's been really great. The mood in the village, I would say, is a little uncertain right now of what is happening as far as the economy. Guests are not coming, which then people are not going to be spending money. And our employees are getting affected because we're having to cut back on hours. It's all going to be a trickle-down effect. It hits the hospitality industry. I think then it will eventually make its way all the way down to mom-and-pop places as far as people going out and shopping. Unfortunately, media has really taken this whole event of the eruption and blown it out of proportion for the island, for the state of Hawaii. Where the eruption is happening is down in Lower Puna. We do have ash coming out of the summit, which is not far from us, but many of the guests that are calling to cancel have this vision that the island is getting covered by lava or ash, and there's a lot of misunderstanding that they really don't know what is going on. If they could just be educated where geographically this lava eruption is happening, I think it would be a little bit more comforting for them to come. Okay, great, Donna. Okay, got you down 11:30 today.
Air quality also became an issue. Ashfall was reported in Ka'u, and in Kona, the fog got worse.
Sore throats, itchy eyes, watery eyes, colds that aren't going away. My daughter, 7 years old, is complaining of headaches. It's day to day.
I've noticed a lot of mucus buildup in my throat, and like in turn it makes it hard for me to breathe. I've noticed I've tried to stay inside more when I see that the levels have gone higher to the unhealthy, or the red, or the orange.
And with the election season upon us, the issue has become part of the gubernatorial debate.
Well, I think first off, what a lot of people have mentioned is that we really need to take control of what's going on in the national media. As you guys know, we are either the number one or the number two story every night, and a lot of people are still concerned and confused, and they think they're going to get off the plane and they're going to trip on lava because they're not sure where it is or what island it's on. And I think that a lot of national media people have highlighted the fact that we are losing that economic business because we need to make sure that the narrative of the media is correct.
With tourism, like I said earlier, it was really eye-opening to know that the national park of the Volcano National Park is the most visited site in the whole state, more than Pearl Harbor is. So that's clearly something that's going to impact this island and impact those who come to visit. So that's got to be addressed. There's got to be, whether they do an alternative site or some way of getting them into the park. And I was meeting with the Park Service this morning on that specific issue.
It is about promoting Hawaii Island as a destination. We've talked about trying to create a visitor attraction within the volcano viewing area and trying to create a safe viewing area. As Colleen had said, the number one attraction is visiting or watching the eruption. If we can work with the parks, the county, and the state and identify a viewing area, we could begin to attract visitors back to Hawaii Island. HTA does have an emergency response fund, $5 million that they can put on the table when the time is appropriate. We need to market traveling to Hawaii Island. I think it's very, very important to do that.
Through it all, Hawaii Island has tried to promote itself as a viable and desirable destination. At least one visitor who spoke from earthquake-stricken Volcano Village was having the time of his life.
Oh, hugely. I mean, I can't understand why people aren't here. I mean, the volcano is over there. Plus, I can't imagine anything happening here. And if it did, they'd get you out of here in a heartbeat. I did go down to the park. I took all these photographs of the different signs: earthquake damage ahead, do not enter volcano due to volcano activity. And for me, that's I'm 67. That's a once in a lifetime thing. Once.
You've also mentioned that you've gone on some tours.
Yes. Okay. Yesterday, I went on a boat tour. Fantastic. Now, I go on boats, but I always get seasick, which is no problem. And I'm fine. This one was a catamaran, and it was great. It was like a roller coaster ride. Everybody enjoyed it. Then we got to the lava flows. It was something I will never see in my lifetime again. I mean, I'm 67. And I saw that and I said, hell. Then there's a helicopter trip I'm taking today, but also recommended to the Australians to go to Pahoa. Because in the evening, you can actually see the glow of the volcano. And at night, you can see the eruptions. Plus, Pahoa is like a throwback to the 1960s. The hippie commune village type thing. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this trip.
Anything else that you asked?
Well, yes, I'm disappointed. I can't understand why people, are afraid. This place should be jammed. All the places should be jammed. They should be. And I really think they should rethink it and come here.
Now, we just experienced an earthquake. Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, this is their first earthquake, the Australians' first earthquake. They didn't know what it was, and I enjoyed watching it, because in California we have them intermittently. But I could tell that this was not a real tectonic plate earthquake and stuff. I don't know. I mean, the first time I was here, I knew what it was. Yeah, and they happen, but to me it's... If we were in a bar in Playa del Rey, California, we would have a free drink.
Huge Hawaii volcano. Lava ball spotted as Kilauea pours molten rock into ocean. Hawaii volcano Kilauea is seen oozing concentrated amounts of molten rock dubbed lava balls into the Pacific Ocean in a stunning time-lapse video of the eruption. The erupting Hawaii volcano was filmed along a channel of free-flowing lava in Kilauea's Lower East Rift Zone. A time-lapse film by United States Geological Survey USGS scientists caught the clumps of lava headed towards an entry point in Kapoho Bay. The USGS said, geologists captured this time-lapse video of the purged lava channel issuing from Fissure 8 on Kilauea's Lower East Rift Zone. Rafts of accreted lava move downstream and look like boats moving down a river. These are termed lava balls or lava boats, or lava bergs according to recent social media posts, and form when portions of the Fissure 8 cone or levees break away and are rafted downstream. As they move along in the channel, additional lava can cool to their surface to form accretionary lava balls. The news comes after NASA astronaut Ricky Arnold took a photo of the Kilauea lava flows at night from the International Space Station ISS. Since eruption began on May 3rd this year, lava flows from volcanic fissures in the Lower East Rift Zone have covered more than 9.6 square miles of ground. A single point of lava entry in the former Kapoho Bay transformed the once popular swimming spot into a barren peninsula of volcanic rock jutting a mile out into the Pacific. On Saturday afternoon, June 23rd, the USGS reported lava is entering the ocean along a 0.6-mile wide area. The USGS said, fountains from Fissure 8 spatter cone continue to supply lava to the open channel with only small, short-lived overflows. During an overflight early this morning, geologists observed incandescence from Fissure 22, but no associated spattering or flow. Lava is entering the sea this morning on the southern side of the entry area primarily through the open channel, but also along a 1 kilometer 0.6 miles wide area. The entry areas are marked by billowing blaze plumes. The volcano has so far lost some 250 million cubic meters of volume or enough to fill 100,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The dangerous lava flows have destroyed nearly 600 homes and displaced thousands of evacuees since May.